Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the LEGO Marvel Superheroes Set 76051, the Superhero Airport Battle. With 807 pieces, you also get yourself 8 figures. Well, that's not completely true. You get 6 minifigures, you get 1 micro figure, and then you get 1 Giant Man figure. This is promoting the new Marvel Captain America Civil War, which will be coming in theaters very, very shortly. A pretty neat little set because really you get so many little minifigures that pretty much encompass the majority of the movie. Like the only ones that really are left out are like Black Widow, Black Panther, and a couple of others. But I mean, the set really encompasses a lot of the figures that you would want to get if you were looking to get a Civil War setup. You also get an airport, a tower, you get the jet, and of course you get the very large Giant Man. Very super cool here. It's recommended for ages 8 to 14. Not sure why they have to say specifically 14, but there's the back of the package. That's what it looks like right there. Again, with the jet, you've got a very cool Giant Man, the airport tower, and so much more. Build something super. You can go to www.lego.com/Marvel Superheroes to check out more. And then down below, they've got some just action scenes that you can check out as well. Spot's going to take a break, and I'm going to get this opened up. Actually, technically, it's already been opened, but I'm going to get it opened completely, get it built, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the LEGO Set 76051, the Superhero Airport Battle. There's definitely more to come, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. To come included with the Superhero Airport Battle, you get yourself a comic book. A very short comic book, yes, but a pretty nice comic book to say the least. The front features Captain America versus Iron Man. And then on the inside there, we've got kind of just a brief synopsis of somewhat of the movie. Not enough to certainly give away any spoilers, though, luckily. Again, it's very, very short. It's really, really, really short. And then on the back, it tells you all the characters that you can get in the different sets. So for example, Captain America comes in set 76051, which would be the set right here, and unmasked Captain America would be 76047, and so on and so forth. Put that to the side. You also get yourself an instruction guide. This is a very beefy instruction guide, but it tells you exactly everything you need to do to build this set. And out of curiosity, if you are wondering, you're looking at about 160 pages, and there are some of the other sets available as well. I can get my hands on 76047 and 76050, which I think currently are in stores as well. Put that to the side. Okay, let's start by having a look at the figures, the minifigures that come included with this set, and then we can kind of look at all the other things that come with it as well. First things first, let's look at the Winter Soldier. He still has his mechanical arm, which is a nice touch. Very neutral in coloring. He's basically just all black with some front printing on his vest. He does have a little bit around here. He does have an alternate face as well. Winter Soldier. You also get Agent 13. There she is right there. And she also has, if I can get her hair around, she also has a more smiley face as well. I've got her currently with a pistol. The instructions give her a pistol, so I gave her a pistol. Agent 13. You got yourself a War Machine, which is pretty cool that you got a War Machine. I have given him the under thrusters for his feet. You can certainly take those off as well. They don't really serve any other purpose in the instructions other than just being put on the feet of War Machine. You also can build an extra backpack that goes on the back of War Machine that has an actual cannon. And the neat thing about these cannons, you will see a lot more of LEGO sets coming included with these. These are like little flick fire, little cap kind of little cap pistols. So if I squeeze it, and this is, I'm sure, going to go everywhere. You squeeze it, and there it goes out onto the floor. But it pops the little cap off, the little end piece of the cannon, which is really cool. Just be careful that you don't shoot that across the house. You'll never find it. I'm sure I'll find it, hopefully. Fingers crossed. War Machine also has a flip-up visor, or dome, on his helmet. And if I can take his helmet off without knocking everything else off, he does also have an alternate face. Let's turn his face around so you get a better look for it. There we go. And put his helmet back on. You get a more angry looking War Machine. That closes up. Super cool. Super cool. Moving along, we also have ourselves an Iron Man. Of course, we have to have an Iron Man. He comes with kind of like a makeshift repulsor blast coming out from his hand. But of course, you can just remove that. I also can remove the thrusters from underneath his feet. Same idea with War Machine. Iron Man's visor does lift up. There's Tony Stark. He also has an alternate face as well if you want a more angry Tony Stark. And that closes up shop just like that. Love these flip-up visors. I think that's super, super cool. Moving along, we also have ourselves Captain America, which I have to admit is probably my least favorite from this entire set. I don't know why Captain America is so overly tanned. His face is so dark. What I would have loved to have seen, and I'm surprised LEGO actually didn't do this, in the same vein as Iron Man and War Machine, I don't know why they didn't simply just give him a cap. A helmet that could have been put over his regular face. The exact same face as the Steve Rogers that comes included in the other set. Why they don't simply just include that head on here and they could have given him a cap. Instead, like the helmet is just molded onto his face. It's all one solid piece. It loses something if you ask me, just a little bit. I would have preferred more, much more. I think I would have preferred a, an actual helmet. But he comes with his shield. A little shield there with a handle, so you can put that into his hand. No real way to put it on his back. I guess if you constructed some sort of Lego piece that comes down, and you had that little clip piece, the little prong piece, you could just essentially attach the shield to the back. But in the meantime, he can hold his shield. Not a bad figure. I'm just not crazy about how dark his face is, and I kind of wish that he had had a helmet rather than having it all one head. Moving along. We also have ourselves Scarlet Witch. And she comes with these little magical constructs that you can just attach to her hands. Quite like Scarlet Witch here. Of course, she also has all that hair was supplied by the cat. It wasn't actually by Lego. But she has that little cloth skirt I'm not super crazy about. You know how my feelings are when it comes to those cloth skirts. And she also has an alternate face as well. Lovin' Scarlet Witch. Now for the smallest and the largest of the figures. The first smallest figure, and let's hope the camera actually can catch it. We have a very, 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 very tiny Ant-Man. Now, you have to admit, though, for how small that is, they even have put in the holes on the back of his legs, where presumably, if he could actually sit down, he'd be able to sit down on a Lego peg. He has absolutely no posability to him whatsoever, but you gotta admit, that is pretty impressive that we would get an Ant-Man that small. Just as a size comparison, let's put him next to the minifigure, and that is a minifigure of Iron Man, just to give you a feeling of how big that is. For how small he is too, you could actually put it on Iron Man's hand. Or I guess if you had Hawkeye, I'm surprised Hawkeye actually wasn't included with this set. I guess they wanted to space the figures out. I would have actually swapped out Agent 13 for Hawkeye, but that's just me. You could actually have had if there was an arrow, you could have had Hawkeye actually firing off Ant-Man. Very, very small. And what's nice, though, is that you get 2 Ant-Mans. He does serve a purpose. I'll show you in a second. But I actually have the other Ant-Man right over here. He's right over here. You can't see him, but he's there. So those are your regular minifigures and your micro figure, which does technically not really a figure, but those are the figures that are in the set. You also get this guy right here, a Giant Man minifigure. Now, looking at the package before I'd opened it up and before I built it, I actually thought for a second, wow, Lego actually gave us a giant figure. I wonder how they would have pulled that off. That's pretty cool. But then you find out later, you actually have to build Giant Man. But you build him in such a way that you would swear it was a giant minifigure. He has full movement in his legs, movement in his head, movement in his arms, although sometimes you get the arms clipping against the front of his chest. But he gets full rotation, everything you would get normally in a Lego, I guess except for the fact that the arms do move out. He also has movement in his arms. You could take a minifigure, let's take Winter Soldier here, and you can put it into his hand. You can kind of have him gripping one of the minifigures. Kind of like that. They don't always stay in his hand very well. They kind of tend to pop off. But that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that a lot. It really looks awesome, and I put some stickers on the front. Comes with, I guess, 5-6 stickers, because that sticker you apply, the face plate actually is already on there, and then and then also you apply some stickers on his legs. So quite a cool minifigure, or I guess in this case, a giant figure. And there he is next to Captain America, just to give you a feel of how big he is. So those, to some extent, even though this technically is not a minifigure, those are the figures that come included with this set. I like the selection. Honestly, I kind of wish Hawkeye was included in the set instead of giving us Agent 13, but I guess they have to kind of beef up, and they want to allocate those minifigures for other sets as well. You can't expect Lego to put them all in one set, and therefore you'd have no reason to pick up the other sets. So those are figures. We'll just put Giant Man over there for a second. You also get yourself a brick lifter. Perfect for taking up bricks. I have used this a couple of times while building a set because I put a couple of bricks in the wrong place, so just had to pop those off. You also get yourself a baggage cart, which holds one minifigure. I'm going to see if I can actually detach this without popping the baggage off. There we go. Just put that to the side. Some sticker application. I had to apply Truck 1 MDJR86. It does have open and closed doors. A little tiny steering wheel. Sticker on the back as well, or sticker on the other side as well. Generally with these large sets, you always get a very large vehicle, and then you usually get like a really micro-sized vehicle that usually only holds one minifigure. So that is what you get here. You also get yourself a baggage cart that each have there's three individual baggage bags. Let's see if I can actually grab it without dropping it. One says Sokovia. One says Wakanda. And then one says BLL. And each of the suitcases, you can open it up. There's nothing inside. No papers or sandwiches or anything like that, but you can open and close the little baggage bags. And then what you can also do, you can put the bags onto the cart as you've already seen. There we go. They're kind of falling all over the place. You have to kind of stack them up very gingerly. I say gingerly, but then what? I'm going to only flip it anyways. There's a little flipping tab on the back here. I'm going to try to flip it this way so it's not going to make a mess everywhere. But you can also take the little baggage cart, take the back here, and you can flip it and knock the bags everywhere. Hopefully in an area where you can find them, hopefully not on the floor where the dog or cat are going to find them. And then this just tabs, this little ball joint that attaches to the back of the cart. That then brings us to, let's look at the tower next. The airport tower has a little siren, or I guess little flashers on the top that spin. A couple of little antennas. And let's see here. We also have a gate, a little swing gate that can move and open and close. There's the other little Ant-Man I was talking about, telling you guys about. Same figure, but you get two of them. That's good. A restricted area with a couple of stickers. The door opens. Inside, you've got just a little area with a fire extinguisher, and there's a wrench. There's a little hole here too. What's the hole there for, Spot? I'll show you guys that in a second. There is a little kind of kitchen up at the top, second floor, with cupboards that can open and close. And then on the top floor, there is a spinning chair that has a couple of little control consoles. There's a little readout control screen there, or a couple of screens on the side, the little control console in the middle there. So that's super cool. What you can do, if we flip around the front of the tower, it comes included with a bunch of these little crates. Now one crate you'll see, or actually all the crates have them, these little blue tabs, the little blue plugs that stick out. What you want to do is plug it right here, and you might see there's like a little brown beige kind of plug. Take the bricks, plug them into place, and the other ones just sort of stack on top. And I don't know how well I'm going to accomplish doing this. Let's very carefully spin this around, very carefully. What you need to do is you need to take the micro Ant-Man and you put him in this hole here. And he doesn't fit in all the way. You actually have to press it. But when you press it, let's see if I can actually do this here. When you press micro Ant-Man, it pushes the tab through and it knocks the crates out. Let's see if I can actually do this on camera. Let's see here. Well, it didn't do the greatest of jobs, but it does pop this crate out. Kind of would knock everything else down as well. And then just make sure you don't lose micro Ant-Man. I don't know if you get 2 micro Ant-Mans for every set that you pick up. I'm sure LEGO would have included it because it is so small you didn't want to lose it after all. So there is the tower. Nice 3-window tower. There's also a section on the back here. There's a lot of playability for this set also. There is a little swing tab just on the side here, which activates these little, right in the kitchen section, the worst place that you would want to have this happen. It activates these little things. And see how that swings back and forth? What you need to do is there is a front section to the tower that are loose bricks. This section right here is a loose brick that you build together, and then this section is a separate brick. And it's not attached to anything on the inside of the tower. So when you swing it, when you swing this forward, it knocks the wall out. Pretty cool, although it's a little on the difficult side to try to get it back in place, and especially lining everything up to itself. That just goes back into place like that. So there is your tower. There's the tower that comes included with this building set. Finally, let's have a look at the Tony Stark jet, the Avengers jet. It says Stark on the side. A couple of sticker applications here. Sticker on the side, sticker on the side. Got Avengers on the wings as well. These wings are posable, so you can fold the wings in, perhaps while it's not in flight. It has a cockpit canopy that opens up. Can hold 2 minifigures on the inside. It also has, let's move these wings out of the way, it has a couple of wings that can prop up. These back fins can also move up and down as well. So, I mean, you can change around depending on how you want to have the jet displayed. There's the underside right there. 2 back wheels, 1 large wheel on the front. Now, for this is pretty cool. I like this. There's a little wheel at the top here, Oh, actually, no. Before we do that, on the back, there's the thrusters. There is a back door that can open up, and a little line that you can have a minifigure holding by. So if you want to have Captain America kind of holding by the line as it's flying across, you can do that. Just tuck that back in. And lastly, the very cool thing about the jet is there's a little wheel at the top. This wheel rotates. I haven't done it yet, so if you see nothing happening, it's because I actually haven't done it yet. And underneath, there is a gun turret. So I'm going to rotate this, hopefully in a way that you guys can see it. Rotate the wheel, and it brings out the gun turret. Two cannons there. And like War Machine, there is little flip switches here that you can fire off the tabs. There's one, and there's two. Onto the floor. Onto the floor it goes. But that's neat. I like that. How that swings in and out. And then when you're not flying it, you can have it right next to the tower. You can recreate the airport scene from Civil War. And it's a pretty fun set. I like this set quite a bit. It makes me actually really want to go and pick up the other sets as well, like Spotted mentioned, just to get all the other minifigures. But the good thing about this set is that it has all the minifigures that I think you would want, at least for the starting point of Civil War. Like you've got your Iron Mans, you've got your War Machines, you got even like a little micro Ant-Man. But I think the coolest aspect of it is this really cool Giant Man. And to think this was all built by Lego. This set currently is in stores. I think it's just shy of $100. It's about a $95 price point for it. Lego, as you know, gets a little it's a little on the expensive side. So the set's not bad. I would say for the standpoint of what it all comes included with, I think it's a pretty good set. Whether you would justify paying that price for maybe this is individual person's opinions. But I do like this set quite a bit. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the Marvel Superheroes set 76051. We're looking at the Superhero Airport Battle from Captain America Civil War. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.